My first impression of Boogs, that he was crazy. No, but I guess my first impression would have to be that, his outstanding personality. He was always putting forth a big smile and happy-go-lucky attitude, even when he was having a day that probably didn't call for that big smile and that happy-go-lucky demeanor.
I met him the day that we announced that we were acquiring fellows, and he was worried about his job, but more worried about the company. And the fact that he was incredibly caring about everybody was a great first impression.
I would describe him as not only a cousin, but a dependable, loyal, and hardworking employee.
There isn't anything you couldn't ask him, and he'd do it. He'd make time for it. He'd figure it out. If it couldn't be done, he'd still find a way to get it done.
He was the kind of driver many times who would finish his pickups and call another local driver and say, "Hey, I'm done. I got some space still on my truck. What can I do? What do you got left? What can I go pick up to help you get home earlier too?"
My favorite memory of Boogs would have to be, when times got a little bit tough on the cross dock or on the shipping dock. Boogs volunteered a ton of his time there to help out, doing paperwork and doing extra pickups and you name it, whatever it was, he was willing to do that. And, generally without any convincing. I mean, he was willing to take this upon himself. And he continuously always said, "We got this. We'll make this happen." And that was an amazing attitude to have, and it was certainly uplifting in some moments of question that I might have had.
He just had a caring passion about everything, everybody, and every way we did it. Just a glow that he always loved to see things done right, whether he did it or somebody else did, and his willingness to point to them successes.
You knew that he was on your team, so if there was anything that needed to be done, if there was something out there that you needed a majority of people to do or multiple people to do, you could be assured that he was there.
One word: dependable.
What made Boogs dependable? Buffy. All joking aside, it just goes back to that he had an absolutely incredible work ethic and was an all-out team player, and he wasn't going to let you down. That's not the kind of man he was.
If you needed something, you could depend on Boogs to get it done.
He did the same thing for Kottke that he did for me, and that was whatever needed to be done. He was willing to do it to ensure that Kottke succeeded after I retired.
Boogs had many good qualities. He was a hard worker, he was loyal, and he did his job so that everybody around him appreciated him, and he made everybody's day better.
Boogs went above and beyond in everything he did, regardless of the integration struggles we had. He was always part of the solution.
His devotion to his family and realizing that, the only way he was going to succeed was to, keep pounding the rock, keep working.
Boogs was able, even on a bad day, to figure out what was good about it.
Boogs was special just because he went over and above to help me try to succeed in what I was doing.
The type of employee you want, and you only could hope that he would also be your friend.
At the end of the day, Boogs just had the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met. You don't get more caring and more kind than Boogs.
Everybody liked Boogs. Most people knew Boogs. So I guess that would mean that that's his personality or his character, or both, is what made him who he was.
How would I describe Boogs to someone who had never met him? I think I would tell them to picture their best friend who has the biggest heart, and mix in a little bit of the person who had the best work ethic they ever found. Maybe throw in a little bit of Steve Spurrier and a little bit of Barney Fife, and that was Boogs.
He was a very heartful and thoughtful person. Always was joking around, had good spirits, and would do whatever anybody asked of him. He'd go out of the way. One day if I'm driving a truck, the next day I'm driving a forklift. He was just a quality person that loved to help out, fill the holes, and filled in where he was needed. Thank you, Boogs.
If I could tell Boogs something right now, it'd be that Buffy's gonna kick his ass for leaving her so soon when she gets to heaven. No. All joking aside, it would be that he was loved more than he could have ever imagined. By his family, by his friends, by his acquaintances. The outpouring of love and comments and just adoration or respect that followed his passing was just overwhelming. And that's from the outside. I'm sure it was absolutely overwhelming to his family. People respected him. People loved him. People knew him and enjoyed spending time with him. And, when my father always told me that, the measure of a man can be felt, at his passing. How many people came to the funeral? There was standing room only. What did people say about him? What did people say about his character? He was a good man. Everybody said he was a good man. And he needed to know that he was a good man. He was loved.
I'd tell him, "You're sorely missed, buddy. Sure wish I could send you to Miami one more time."
What made Boogs bleeding blue? Geez, where do I start? You don't have enough time for all of that. But in a nutshell, he just believed that when you had a job, you give your boss 120%. And he did that every day. Some days happy, some days less happy, but he did it every day. And he believed in teamwork. He believed in getting the job done. He believed in professionalism. He had everybody's back, and he knew that the better he did his job, the better it was going to trickle down on everybody else. Anything he might have cut a corner or did short, he knew would fall on somebody else, and that's just not the kind of guy he was. He was going to make sure he didn't let the warehouse team down. He was going to make sure he didn't let the local team down. He was going to make sure he didn't let Minnesota down, and he was sure going to make sure he didn't let DavOps down, especially his number one dispatcher. He was bleeding blue in every way.
Boogs, my friend, first of all, I hope you're saving me a seat. With that said, the Duane and Connie Kottke Driver of the Year is one of the highest honors we give out. And while You asked me only 24 times when we were going to celebrate together. This is not what I had in mind, but you, my friend, are very deserving.
Well, Boogs, congratulations. It is a great honor to have known you and to have worked with you. I truly wish that I could have got to know you better. I never had that opportunity to spend hardly any time away from work with you. I truly believe we both would have enjoyed some of those moments. There is not a day that goes by that we don't think of what you did for our company, and that we wish you were still part of our active team. Although, even though you're not part of our active team, you are still part of our team. You ride with us in our heart and our soul, and for that, we will always say thank you and congratulations.